Good morning and welcome to the Weekend Weird Files. I hope you're enjoying your Saturday. I'm here to bring you a few recent odd headlines from around the world. Are you ready? Let's get started. When weird stuff happens, you'll hear it here. You might not hear it here first, but you'll still hear about it. And now your Weekend Weird Files host, Andrea Lee. Now, our first story comes to us from British Columbia in Canada. A woman in Abbotsford thought she saw a black cat in her backyard, but it definitely wasn't a cat. Melanie Porter said that on November the 4th, she went out to investigate and found herself face to face with a black bear. Now, I'm not sure how she thought a black bear was a black cat, unless maybe she had just gotten a glimpse of it. I mean, I'm not judging. There's a big size difference there. But she froze where she was standing, and mentally she started questioning herself about what she should do next. She didn't know if she should remain frozen, run, or scream. But as she stood there frozen, probably with fear, okay, the bear moved forward and licked her hand. When it tried to lick her a second time, she moved and the bear ran away. Porter was able to snap a picture with her phone of the bear as it moved away. When asked what it felt like to be licked by a bear, she said it felt more like a dog's tongue than a cat's. She says that she and her neighbors have noticed more activity from the bears this year than in previous year. And let me just tell y'all right now that I'm almost jealous of this woman's experience. Bears are my most favorite wild animal. Now, I really don't want to be that close to one in the wild, but I just would like to at least see one in the wild. When the kids and I went to the mountains back in October, remember that? Well, we were in an area with a lot of bear activity, and we stayed there for that reason. Did we see any bears? No, just stuffed ones in gift shops. When I went to Tennessee back in April, did I get to see a bear? Well, I thought I did. We were riding through Cades Cove, and off in the distance in the field, we saw something large and black moving around in the tall grass. Well, I snapped a tons of pictures, I was so excited. Well, I get home, upload these pictures to my computer, and you'll never guess what it actually was. Y'all, it was a freaking wild turkey, and a huge one at that, and I'm not exaggerating, okay? I felt so stupid after I realized what I had gotten so excited over. You can donate to my fundraiser for new glasses at... Just kidding. Maybe the lady in this segment has eyesight as bad as mine since she thought it was a black cat. Because, if I can mistake a turkey for a bear, she certainly could mistake a bear for a cat. According to MSN... a Massachusetts family is suing a funeral home after they say that as their loved one's casket was being lowered into the grave, the casket broke open and the deceased fell out. Now, this happened back in April of 2019, but the lawsuit states that during the funeral, the straps on a city-owned casket lowering device broke, causing Andrew Serrano's casket to fall into the grave and break apart. Now, the lawsuit lists 9 counts, including negligent and reckless infliction of emotional distress. The lawsuit goes on to say that when the casket broke open, Serrano's body fell out and into the grave where it started oozing fluid, which of course horrified the family members who were watching. Can you even imagine you're at your loved one's funeral and something like that happens? It's just crazy. Now, the body was eventually taken back to the funeral home and he was buried a few days later. The family is seeking $50,001 in damages, and the lawsuit also names the city of Lawrence, the cemetery's board of trustees, and its directors, along with the funeral home. And finally, New York firefighters rescued a naked man in Syracuse who had been stuck in the bathroom wall of a theater for several days. On the morning of November the 5th, the Syracuse Fire Department responded to a call from employees of the Landmark Theater after they'd heard somebody banging on the wall and yelling for help. It's believed he had been in there for 2 or 3 days, but it's unclear how he had become entrapped in that wall. Firefighters had to drill a hole in the wall and use a fiber optic camera to find his exact location, and then they had to very carefully cut through several layers of drywall and structural clay to get to him. Now, they haven't named, who this man was, but he was 39 years old, and he was wearing absolutely no clothing when they pulled him out. He appeared to be uninjured, but he was taken to the local hospital for treatment of dehydration. Now, I would love to hear the man's story about the events that led up to him becoming trapped in a wall. It has to be one heck of a story, right? Lord, y'all. Well, that's it for this weekend's Weird Files. Don't forget to come back on Monday for an all-new episode of Mystery, Murder, and Magic. Be blessed, y'all.
Look, it's James.